Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
AT&T, huh?
AT&T.
Well, ever since they bought back those baby bells, they've been they got a lot of stuff going on, man, with AT&T. Like you said, they done bought up a whole lot of stuff and everything, but one of their core businesses that went away was their TV service. It's completely left, man, after people start streaming, and they kind of priced themselves out of business. So um, when you start putting your TV service up and everything, and most people who got their service, man, were paying over $100 a month just for basic stuff. They they left them like people started leaving them like crazy. I know I did as soon as they started doing that because I was tired of paying $150 and everything for some stuff, crap that really I didn't even want to see. Since some of that stuff, I saw a few channels, but you're gonna pay $150 for looking at maybe 6 or 7 channels, and then the rest of them is garbage. You don't even hardly watch them. So I went to streaming, and a lot of other people did too, and it took them right out of the market. So AT&T is they they got another company and stuff out that they use for streaming and everything called DirecTV, but I don't know how it's doing.
Well, he said his big switch though that really put him to the table. He did the fiber optics,
Right. Because
what you was telling
they
me
made,
about.
yeah, they made an investment and stuff in it because they invested in our neighborhood. It was a place that nobody wanted to come to, but they finally started investing in it. And man, everybody in my neighborhood used to have Comcast and everything, and they done left Comcast way behind, and they go into that fiber optic, and
Well,
they're
that's
gonna
what
be
I think. They even came to our apartment complex, and I was just told them, let me look at it. And I got the lady's name. I might go ahead on and do that. I don't know.
yeah,
We'll
you
see.
do that. I'm telling you, you're not gonna regret it, man. That fiber is something else, man. If you got anybody that comes in there with that fiber, you can't beat it. All that other crap and everything they got with Comcast and all the other stuff, man, that stuff no good. It's okay if you just planning on doing one thing like downloading, because the upload and everything speed is not anything at all. But when you get that fiber, man, your upload and download speed are just the same, and internet loads faster and everything. So if you had a chance to get fiber, I think I would get it if I was you, because I got it. I went and switched over, man. I got rid of my Comcast, and I'm on AT&T fiber. Now, if Google had a came in first and everything, I would have gotten them Google fiber, but they didn't, and I guess they didn't feel like spending the money to invade the territory. So hey, it's AT&T's gain and Google and Comcast loss,
But you still can get Google though, right?
huh?
You still get Google though, right?
No, Google hasn't came into our area yet. They're in the Atlanta area, but they're not here in our area.
But what about their browser? Can you get on their browser or like
All that
Google.com?
once you have internet, the browser and everything, all that stuff comes behind it. The internet, the fiber internet, or the Comcast internet has nothing to do with your browser.
Okay.
because your browser will work on anything as long as it'll work on Wi-Fi, it'll work on your phone, all that. But your internet and stuff and everything has got its own animal. You ride the that internet to on your browser. So we have to talk about that one day, Ted, when you got some time and stuff. The difference between all that stuff. It's amazing, man. The technology is out there, and that was one thing that I had on my agenda to talk about, and that's this cyber crimes going on, which is another monster in itself. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, a lot of stuff going on, my brother. Lots,
Ooh, you said
lots,
it.
lots, lots of stuff. I got a list here, almost 2 pages long of stuff that I got down here to talk about, and I had to cut it off. I had probably at least another 3 or 4 articles that I wanted to talk about here.
Go for it, bro.
Well, the first thing that I think that our audience and stuff might want to hear about, that it is a very, very, very critical item, and most people probably think that it may not affect them, and that is Trump put out an edict about the Health and Human Services Agency.
Mm.
Uh, he put out a total communication block and stuff on anybody in those agencies. Now, um, one of them that I thought was more important than probably all of them. Now I know most people would think that Medicare and Medicaid is probably the main thing that we should be talking about, because that's part of HHS. No communications about it, nothing to say. Whatever they're doing within those programs and stuff, Trump has said nobody talks about it. We are a total block. If you said anything, you're going to get fired.
Ooh.
Well, the agency that I really wanted to talk about was CDC.
Yep.
Now, as I just said,
You
they
destroyed it last time. You know that, don't you?
yeah, and but most people would want to say, well, Medicare and Medicaid is more important because that's my money, that's my health. Well, I think the CDC is a heck of a lot more important, because they are in charge of infectious diseases that is going on around the world.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that got affected was when Trump decided to pull out of the health organization, the Worldwide Health Organization out there, which is
WHO.
tied which is tied into the CDC.
That's right.
And right now, the CDC and stuff and everything has been bombarded and stuff with infectious diseases from all over the country, all over the world. And he's hiding one of the things and stuff that the agency wanted to talk about was this bird flu epidemic
Mm-hmm.
that has taken over the poultry industry. And they're finding out now that it has taken over humans.
Yep.
And he put up kibosh on that, a total block on anybody from the CDC telling anything about it. And what he did was he fired 350 of their employees immediately. They were terminated. They didn't even get a chance to go back to their office. They were immediately terminated, fired. And he put out an edict and stuff and told the rest of the employees, if they open their mouth or they say anything about anything that is going on inside the agency and everything, they will be fired. And the little drippings of information that is coming out of that organization and stuff is that they were getting ready to put out some very, very dangerous reports and stuff about some of these infectious diseases and stuff that are floating around out there that they want the country and the world to be aware of. And they found out also that some of our diseases and viruses that we have conquered and we thought was back behind us are starting to raise their ugly heads again. Measles, mumps, smallpox, and stuff like that.
Because a lot of people are not taking the shots.
There's a lot of people not taking the shots, and there are a lot of folks out there and stuff who are passing those diseases on to other folks, and it is getting close to becoming a pandemic again. But he put a block on that and did not want them to tell people what's going on.
Here's the thing, though, Ed. A lot of Republicans died from that pandemic. Radio show hosts, some of his people in his administration, all of that. So I don't
He
know.
almost died.
Yeah. What is wrong with this man?
I don't believe that he understands what the hell's going on. I don't believe that he understands the ramifications of some of these executive orders that he is putting out. People around him are telling him to do this, and he's doing it without knowing anything. And if you listen to him when he goes out now, Ted, I just can't stand listening to him because the things that he be talking about is off the rocker. They are crazy. But he is becoming, if you look at his speeches when he first became president and look at his speeches and stuff now, they have gone completely wacko. He talks about stuff and everything, and it doesn't make any sense at all to anybody who has any kind of mind. And how these folks and stuff allow him to continue to do this, I don't know. That's what's going on.
Call your representative.
It won't do any good for you. Can call him, he can do what you want to do, but he has a hold and stuff, Ted, on his party. I don't know if you notice it and stuff and everything, but there are some members and stuff of the Republican Party who are in Congress who open their mouth and says something against him, and he immediately puts a kibosh to him. You shut up, or you going to be threatened, or anything can happen to you. Lindsey Graham, I don't know if you saw him the other day, came out and said something about this pardon thing. He didn't agree with it. Well, he put a stop on his butt real quick. Shut up. You can't say nothing, or we're going to do something to you. They can't say anything. Most of them are scared. And you notice that he put kind of a block on the media out there. They have to be careful about what they say. So in essence, Ted, he is taking this country and slowly but surely and everything, moving them away from a democracy. No freedom of the press anymore.
And the newspaper is just allowing them to do it.
They allow him to do it. And those folks and stuff will open their mouth and dare to come against him. If you're small or whatever, he's gonna kibosh you. Now, Mexico told them they're not landing no military planes in their country with those Mexican immigrants and stuff on their plane. Now, he got upset about that, but he didn't say a whole lot to a girlfriend down there in Mexico. So I guess they're going to try to negotiate some deal or whatever and stuff with him. So after she did it, little Colombia decided that they wanted to do the same thing. Bro, man, came down on Colombia so damn hard. He immediately said, if you don't let them planes land, we're going to put a 25% tariff on your butt. And then he turned around there and said, nope, we're kicking the tariff up to 50%. The president the next day told him it was okay to let them planes land.
I saw that.
He bullied the crap out of them people down there in Colombia, and they backed down.
Yep.
You cannot do that with a bully. I felt so bad for that man because the first day it happened, he was standing up there and talking. His chest was all out. And when Trump said, I'm putting a tariff on your behind right now, 25%. And then said, we're going to put a 50% tariff on you. The old boy backed down. Well, Ted, some of these folks and stuff in these other countries are seeing this crap. And they're pulling together an alliance with all these other countries and stuff, especially in South America and the Central America countries. They are trying to come together, and the president of Mexico and stuff is trying to get this thing going. So we ain't gonna let this Simon gonna come over here and bully us. So if you don't stop him now, woe is you.
Well, you talk about Mexico, but you know what Hezek,
Huh?
he already said he's getting ready to put the military on the border.
That's fine.
And they having a war against the cartels. I was listening to an article, or I should say a YouTube, and then I was trying to get some more research on it. They said those cartels are trained better than the military, and I'm talking about in all levels. The cartel, they run in the cartel. They run. They're fifth in their country as far as employees. They got over 175,000 employees that work for the cartel in all phases of different kinds of businesses. And they got a lot of businesses right here in this country. So he is classifying the cartel as a terrorist organization. These people don't play. They'll pull out their machine guns anywhere and start shooting up people.
They're killing their own people right now.
Yeah.
They're afraid of them. It's going to come a point, Ted, real soon here, that most of the people out there are not going to be able to get news or information from any of these major newspapers or news agencies out there, including Fox. We're getting to that point now. Information that folks out there and stuff need. And some of these small streaming podcast sites and stuff now are starting to get more and more and more people and stuff who are following them, because this is the only place that they're going to be getting their news from, reliable news. because the rest of them are so afraid to do anything about it, and he's got them under almost a news blackout that is, if we're gonna that freedom of the press thing is falling out, going by the wayside. So news like this and what we're talking about, we have to keep on talking about it. This is something that we need to keep talking about, because I'm pretty sure that most people didn't know that the Health and Human Services Agency and stuff and everything, all the agencies have been put up on a media blackout. They cannot talk, and it has something to do. And I'm getting back to Medicare and Medicaid. Now they're on the HHS too, and if you got a blackout and stuff with those folks and everything, and nobody's telling you anything, and if you you and I both and stuff, we have to deal with Medicare, but you can't get any information. You go on their website and you can't get anything.
Well, let me let's give the people a little explanation of what we mean by communications. Usually they have a press communications department in each one of these agencies. And they can break it down to different kinds of agent, different parts of the agency. They have these professional people who are PhDs, medical doctors, all of that. And what they do is they write papers, or they might do a press release, and they'll send it to the newspapers. And then the newspapers will call these people, and then the newspaper will do an article on it. And they will explain to the people exactly what's going on. So they don't actually write the stories or release the stories. They actually talk to the news people and put that information out. And so, like, if a disease or something is going on, or they can't find something, or whatever, or this medication is dangerous, or whatever, that's how we get our news. And then the same thing spin off. The TV people read the newspaper articles, and they might do their verification and talk to the people and everything. And then whoever's talking about that particular subject, they might talk about it for only 2 or 3 minutes, but at least it's out there on TV, since most people get their news from TV. So now, what you just said, that has been cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing: the 350 people he fired, they might have been paper shufflers, doing the labor, checking this, and maybe some lab work people and this and that. And those people, they don't know all the mechanisms and everything neither. But some of them might, and they can go to the news people or call people, but maybe it's not worth it to them, and they don't say anything. They're not whistleblowing. So who knows what's going to happen? And it's just like, if you have a product that's out there that's been affected, or been, like, you remember we used to have those aspirin problems, and then they'll tell you all of them are bad or whatever because they've done the research. They then went to different places and then looked at it and said, hey, this has too much of whatever in it. You need to throw all of that away. How are we going to get news like that, bro? How are we going to know what's good and what's bad?
You're not. That's what he wants to do. You are not going to get that news. And it goes even further than that, Ted. The CDC is tied in to all of your hospitals and stuff all around the country. And if there is some kind of infectious diseases that someone walks into a hospital and they have a reporting right to report it to the CDC. And the CDC assimilates that information and everything. And if it gets too bad and they get too many people out there who are coming up with these diseases, then they alert the public and stuff about it. There's no alert and stuff going on now. They've stopped that alert thing. So these hospitals, if they receive someone inside the hospital and they got some kind of disease that they cannot detect or they don't understand about it, there's nobody to go to other than their own labs to find out exactly what the heck going on. Yes, it's going to be a mess, man. I'm telling you. And you ask that question, why is he doing this? And Other than that answer I gave you, I don't know. It may be something else to that. I don't know. It may be some other reason why he's doing it. There may be some ulterior motive, but somebody out there who is got his ear is telling him to do this stuff.
Well, we know a whole lot of black people during that pandemic was affected with that COVID.
Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of us and stuff who didn't believe that COVID was bad. They chose it to not. They chose not to take the medication. They chose not to take the vaccine. They chose not to do anything about it. But at least they knew. They were told. Right now, you're not even being told because he's saying you don't tell anybody about anything that's going on. Hmm. Horrible situation, Ted. So we're going to have to go out and start picking up little information that's coming out. And I'm pretty sure, Ted, that there are some people inside those agencies who got friends and families out there. They're whispering and stuff about what they're going on and say, hey, don't say that I said it. And they're whispering it, and it'll eventually start getting out, and people will start doing it. But it's a horrible shame that that has to happen because with this thing with the news media and stuff and everything, also he is trying to hog tie them. So you can't, and these editors and stuff, their reporters are getting this information and they're being told, don't put it out. If you do, we're going to be sued. He's going to get us. No more freedom of the press.
Well, here's the thing. I'm speculating here now. We've been hearing all of these rumors and all kinds of craziness that there's 8 billion people on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing a lot of these billionaires and millionaires. Too many people.
Mm-hmm. Cull the herd.
Yep.
Cull the herd.
Yep.
And for you folks out there who don't know what that means, look it up. Cull the herd. If you're a farmer out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And they've been talking about this, Ted, for a long time.
Long
Culling the
time.
herd.
Long time.
Culling the herd.
But here's the
And
thing, though.
if there's a way to cull a herd, that's it. Especially in this country right here. And also his deportation. He's culling the herd there too. He's getting them out of here, and and the rest of me, he's letting them die off. Bury them. I'm laughing, but it's not funny at all. It is really not funny. It is a horrible thing.
But here's the thing, though, Ed. You have these religious zealots that that's out there, and the one thing, intelligence and now whatever reason why our purpose or whatever that we're here for, but we have more people than we've ever had in the world. Our population is, I believe, about 400 million strong. in this country, and it's undocumented and everything. They say, you know, they're rating I don't know if I haven't heard a whole lot about California, but I know they in Illinois, they in a lot of these so-called sanctuary cities and what have you. But a lot of undocumented people are in Ohio, Iowa, all of those places because they do the work. A lot of these people, some of them in Wyoming and different places, Omaha. So these people running around here and running the farms and running the different things of factories of hogs and chickens and all of those things. A lot of those people are undocumented. That's working in those situations, and they don't have the workers, and they don't have things to protect them from those diseases that those animals spread. So, what are they going to do? Put these people in prison and then make them work for $1 a day? Because they're already using hundreds of thousands of prisoners already for free labor. And don't nobody how to report on the prison situation, until it gets really gruesome, and it's as gruesome as it is. Because they try to use as cheap as possible. And for some reason, the police people, they're supposed to be protecting the people, are allowing all this stuff to happen. They're supposed to be obeying to protect them, to serve the people. Because, see, they have the authority to do whatever what they want to do when they see some person that's committing a crime or what have you. You have all these different agencies and what have you. And we've been putting our trust in all these people. But who are these people that work for all of these different alphabet suits? Are they secret agents in there too? We don't know. American people right now, they all happy. They happy they got Trump. They don't know. What do they say? They came for so-and-so, and then they came for so-and-so, and now they're coming for you. And they don't understand that. But I will tell, like I said, I'll give it 6 months. I give it 6 months. The stock market is already losing money. It's tanking. But he's going to use an excuse talking about they won't give me my taxes, and wait till we get our taxes, permanent. Boy, I tell you, man, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. You got a 78-year-old man there, and I got to give it to him, bro. And they claim he eating McDonald's every day. Come on, bro. If I eat McDonald's twice, if I eat McDonald's for 1 week straight, I'll be sicker than a dog. Wouldn't be feeling good or nothing. No energy.
They
I might
pumping
go to
him up.
McDonald's or one of these Burger Kings and might have a fast meal for, once a month, tops twice a month. But if I ate that stuff every day, man, I'd be sicker than a dog.
They're pumping him up, man. They shooting him up.
That's what they're doing. That's what you think they're doing.
They shooting him up. They're putting whatever they can into him to keep him going.
Because he going, bro. He's doing his little rally still.
Yeah, they pumping him up, buddy. They putting them meds and stuff in it. Eventually, his body ain't gonna be able to handle them meds and stuff and everything. He's gonna, it'll go away. You can't keep pumping that body up like that. It ain't gonna last. Uh, did you notice this past weekend when he was in California and he was out on that tarmac and they shot a picture of him and what he was doing?
What do he do?
Did you look at his stance?
Uh,
You take a look at that video of him out there on the tarmac with Governor Newsom. The governor is standing straight up. He's leaning into him. Look at the video.
I saw him leaning to him, in his ear.
He's leaning into him. He's standing, his feet are flat on the ground, but he's leaning right over to into him.
Mm-hmm.
There's something wrong.
Mm.
You can't stand up straight and talk to somebody? Look at the video. It was, matter of fact, one of the commentators had talked about it. They zoomed in on his feet. He had these big old sole shoes and stuff on his feet.
Make him look taller.
I guess, or something. He had something going on. His sole was about that thick, about almost 2 inches thick. All he can see was the front part of the sole. You know what we're going on the back part.
You trying to tell me that the whole front was
Yeah,
at
he was up
elevation?
about that high. Go look at the video. Go look at the video and zoom in on his feet.
Wow.
Yeah, they were showing it on one of the podcast shows, and they were showing how he was sitting up there. And he's sitting like that, leaning into her, and Newsom is standing straight up.
Mm.
A.P.
Mm.
I look at everything, man. I look at everybody's posture. I look at what's going on around folks when they show something. That's why I have a problem a lot of times when I see a movie or whatever. I got to see it 4 or 5 times before I'm satisfied. That's because I check out everything around what's going on, and sometimes what goes on around you speaks more loudly than looking at that person.
Mm.
And body language and stuff, man, is a monster,
Oh yeah.
especially in acting.
Tarmac.
So you get a chance, look at that video that he did. Now, speaking of California, and the other day we talked about him and Karen Bass and how he jumped all over the mayor
T-R-U-N-P.
and
Yeah.
questioned about what was going on. Well, he left out of there with his little old noggin and head all bent up, bent out of shape because he thought he was right. And most of the people who had any kind of sense, when they heard all this stuff going on, there's something is wrong with him. He couldn't figure out why the people couldn't come in Pacific Palisade, come into their community and immediately start sifting through dangerous chemicals.
Yeah.
Okay, he gets back to DC, and the other day, guess what the old boy throwed out there for people out there who were asking him questions about what's going on? He's saying now that he wants to be in charge of the water sources in California. he, he, he wants to be in charge of them. in the hell you want to be in charge of the water for Trump? That is absolutely asinine, idiotic, and stupid. He wants to control it, their water.
Here's. I'm gonna take a take on you. I'm gonna see what you think about this. This is what I think. This is just my own personal mind deviating from what I think how sadistic this man is. I think he got a big whiteboard and he looks at all kinds of things how he can commit chaos because he's a marketing person. So that it gives him power, little things that gives him a little power. You know, he did it was somebody that was really insignificant, not even that important. And he commented on that. And I can't think of the exact who it was and what was the situation. But I said, he's the president of the United States. Why he's concerned about that little bitty itty little thing that went on there? And he commented on it. I think he got a whiteboard and he got his assistant, or he got a couple of assistants that's writing down every little thing that's going on that he sees on TV, because that's what he does. That's how he gets his news. Anything, he sees on TV, they say anything negative or anybody that's doing something, whether it's good or bad, he comments on it. He got to have a whiteboard, bro. He got to have a whiteboard. He got something, somebody's saying, this is so-and-so doing this, and this is how he get his stuff. And then he'll comment on it. All little minute details or little stuff that he don't have anything to do with, but he comments on it. That's what I think he's doing.
You take psychology classes in college?
I took a couple.
Okay. In your psychology classes and stuff, uh, I'm trying to think of the word that they use and stuff in there to talk about what he does. When people are ignorant or they have a problem with reading and they can't read, if they see something, they would pick it out and point it out real quick. Oh yes, that's because they want you to think that they know all about it. So they just pick out that little bitty point, and when they pick it out, they want you to think that they're smart.
It makes sense to me.
Yes, sir. That's what's going on with it. He picks that thing out because he wants people to think, because he can pick out that little small thing there, that he's smart. They want you to think that they are smart, but they're not. They have not comprehended anything. Only that one little thing there. So they remember that one little thing, and then they'll comment on it to make you think that they're really, really, really smart, or they know what they're talking about because they can pick that out. Oh man, he is so smart. He picked that right out. And most of the time, just like you just said, it's insignificant.
Yeah.
It is totally insignificant what he picked out. But he doesn't know that. He thinks that he's being smart.
And the people that when he makes a comment on his little site, people think he on top of it.
Mm-hmm. They think he's smart. And those are them folks. Those are uneducated people who think that. The people who are smart and they understand what's going on, they use that against them. I can't imagine, Ted, that those billionaires, Tim Cook and the CEO of Apple, of Google, and all the other companies and stuff and everything, look at that man and invest in him and think that he's a smart president. I think what they have done and stuff is that they found him. He's stupid. He's ignorant, and they know it, and they're playing on his ignorance. to get what they want. They have a toddler sitting out there, and they're telling this toddler and stuff all kinds of things so that toddler would do what the heck they want him or her to do. He's a child. It's a lot easier to deal with him than deal with somebody who got any sense.
Well, it's a lot of stuff that we don't know, because I'm gonna tell you something. And I'm gonna tell my age. I'm 75 years old, and I'm gonna tell you when I get out of the bed, I got one. I got one of those. As a matter of fact, I got about 3 or 4 of them. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm just trying to figure out, like you just said, he must be pumping himself with something.
They are. His doctors are. They're keeping him pumped up. He's probably getting a regular shot every day or something, some kind of adrenaline. The bad part about that, though, Ted, is that your body can only stand so much of that, and it's going to break down. And when it does it quickly. That at some point, that medication that they're shooting him up with and everything is going to reach a plateau, and it's going to stay right there for a while, and then it's going to hit a steep cliff, and it's going to drop off, and he is not going to be able to come back from it. They're going to have to find some other kind of medication to pump him up with.
Well,
There'll be a day, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come along pretty soon, and it may not be within the next couple of months, but there's going to be a day when he's going to do something just like Mitch McConnell did. He is going to stop, and he is not going to be able to say anything at all. You remember when Mitch did that? They asked him a question, he couldn't say anything. Okay, that day's going to come, and somebody better be by his side and stuff to stop him or to do something or set the interview off and get him the heck off of that daggone television screen. And I'm pretty sure there's somebody waiting for it to happen, and they are going to whatever's going on, that they're going to stop it quick. He's getting to that point. Because he's coming across here with a lot of real wacky stuff that doesn't mean anything at all.
mm,
Okay, before we go, Ted, we got to put in some stuff that's exciting. We got to get off the bad stuff and have some good stuff to pop up. Man, yesterday.
I didn't see the first game, bro. I was at a party.
Yeah, I thought you picked Jaden, man. I thought you picked Jaden.
I didn't pick him.
Yes, you did. You said Jaden's gonna do it. Yes, you did. And I said, man, I
Yes,
can't
I
let my
did. I
hurt
picked him.
go. You picked Jaden.
But the caveat, I said the caveat because that quarterback, Jalen, was hurt. They claim his leg was hurt. Yeah, it was hurt all right. That might have been a psychology thing going on there.
Hey.
They were psyching him out.
Now, but I have to throw my caveat in there, Ted. I didn't never in my wildest dreams would I have thought they would have scored 55 points on them boys. Ain't no way. If somebody had told me and they were foreseeing the future or whatever, and I know that they were foreseeing the future, I'm going to say, ain't no way they're going to score 55 points on them boys. No way.
Well, how many turnovers did they have, Ed?
3.
There you go. He threw one, and then two people were running and fumbled the ball.
Yeah, he had a runner to fumble the ball. He had a kickoff. The guy fumbled the ball on
Here's
the
the thing:
kickoff,
when I
but they
knew they
scored,
was gonna lose, this is when I knew they was gonna lose. First quarter.
and they had an interception in
They
the
had
end
the
zone.
first quarter in, and because that's basically all I saw was the first quarter. When they was going down the field, it was 4-2, 4-5, and they went for it, and they
Mm-hmm.
made it two or
And they
three
made it.
times.
Absolutely.
And then as soon as they got to 4-5, it was 20 yards or 30 yards, 25 yards away. They went on and kicked the doggone field goal. I said, why don't you go for it now again? That's when I knew this coach is playing not to lose instead of going for it. You wasn't a favorite, man. I think they had them down for 2 touchdowns. And I think that just took the air out of everybody because they was all hyped, man. That first quarter, man, they was doing it. So I think, hey, you think they want Philadelphia to win it?
I didn't look at the game with Buffalo and Kansas City. I did not watch that because I I didn't have a lot of faith in Allen. I thought that the game that he had played before that, the one he played against, who did he play before he got to the championship?
The
Whoever
Ravens.
Allen, huh?
The Ravens.
The Ravens. I thought the Ravens should have beat them.
Yeah.
The Ravens should have beat them. They
Yep.
should have beaten them. If them boys hadn't have dropped them passes and stuff, I believe Baltimore would have won. They would have beat them. But them boys could hold that ball. That Jackson did everything he could, man, and he dropped that, and he dropped, and that tight end dropped 2 passes and stuff on him. Plus, I think
Yep.
somebody else dropped a pass. If they had not have had those turnovers, those drop passes and stuff and everything, Baltimore would have beat them. So I didn't have a lot of faith in Allen and stuff and everything going to Kansas City and everything and beating them there in Kansas City because Kansas City don't make mistakes like that. They don't make those mistakes, and that's what makes them a good team. They don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves. When you don't beat yourself, then you got a damn good chance of winning.
That's it. Football is about turnovers,
Mm-hmm.
mistakes.
Yep, you got a damn good chance of winning if you don't beat yourself. Don't have no turnovers and stuff and everything. You got a good chance of winning. But when you turn that ball over, you don't have a good chance of winning. And Baltimore did that. They turned that ball over too much. Bad plays and stuff and everything. And Buffalo just capitalized on their mistakes. And Kansas City ain't gonna make mistakes. You're gonna beat Kansas City. You got to beat them. And Jalen Hurt came within a hair of beating them the last time that he played them.
Yeah.
Came within a hair of beating them the last time he played them. So I don't know what's going to happen this time, but he came damn close last time to beat him. So I say that to say it's going to be a good Super Bowl. It's going to be a good Super Bowl. Uh, did you see what the National Football League did?
What they do?
A week after the game was over with, they fined one of Philly's defensive back and everything for unsportsmanlike conditions and stuff. He hit, he used his helmet and stuff and everything to make a tackle, and the guy fumbled the ball on Green Bay. They waited a whole week before they went ahead and changed the call. They even had the call and stuff and everything. They did a replay on it, and they still ruled that did not call roughing the runner, and they did not call what the call they made and everything should have been a penalty and stuff on Philadelphia, and that which meant that the fumble that the guy did not happen. But they let the fumble happen, and Philly got the ball back.
Mm.
Anyway, the NFL's front office finally said that the Philly defensive back, everything should have had a penalty call on him, and they fined him $5,000 for the hit.
Is he gonna be able to play in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
Okay.
they fined him $5,000, and they brought the coach on from Philadelphia to ask him about it, and he just smiled.
He don't want to get fined $25,000, bro.
He just smiled.
These people, man,
You know,
they are.
you know that you know that player ain't gonna pay that fine, don't you? That the Philly organization gonna write a check for that fine. Oh man, that was kind of silly that they did that. I don't know what they were trying to do or who thought that up that they should do that, but man, you call a penalty a week late and then find the boy, then you know he ain't gonna pay it. Oh man.
Well, let me ask you this, Ed. What do you think about this deep seek? This new AI thing that's been out there. It said that it only cost them
China. They
something
come
like,
from China. They came from China.
yeah. And it said it was a little nothing, as far as money goes, compared to all of these billions that these other major corporations. They claiming that it rivals a lot of these other AIs like OpenAI and GPT-4, Google Gemini, at a fraction of the cost. It only cost them $5.6 million to get it going.
Well, they call them LLMs for a reason.
Now, what does LLM stand for?
Large language model. And because they are large language models, what they do is that you keep pumping information and stuff into them, and they learn from it. And that's what ChatGPT did, and that's what Google did, and that's what the other companies out there who are trying to get into these large language models are doing. They are pumping information into them. So, because of that, whoever decides that they don't want to pay as much money for the information that's going to come out of this deepfake probably will keep doing it because it's cheaper to go with somebody who doesn't have all the information than to have to go with a artificial intelligence model that's supposed to have at least some of the information, a lot more information than they
At least
need.
80% correct. Because you're talking about Meta is talking about spending $65 billion. And then you got some of these people talking about they're going to be spending trillions of dollars to keep their stuff going, their models.
Well, you have to understand what these LLMs are, Ted. And the bigger they get, the more energy they use. Google's large language models are sitting out there in some godforsaken, who knows, field somewhere in a huge, probably 10,000 or 20,000 acre plots or somewhere. And they're buying up more land around them because this thing is taking a huge amount of energy to run. With the energy cost and stuff, they're saying for some of these units and stuff, their energy bill, electric bill, can get upwards to $10 to $15 million a month
Mm.
in energy costs. And the larger it gets, the more energy it's going to use. So most of them now, they're buying up land, huge plots of land around them, and they're putting in these solar panels. And these solar panels farms, these solar farms and stuff are huge. And that energy just goes to run their large language model. They're not shipping anything back into the electric grid. It's going to run these large language models. So you can spend a lot of money acquiring the land, building these units themselves, and then putting in these farms and stuff for the energy that you're going to absorb. And if you don't have the land mass to put in these solar farms, then you're going to spend a hell of a lot of money on energy.
Well, I think this is the whole thing, you know, and your CEO of AT&T spoke on this. He said that you know, this energy thing and the way it's working now, it's crazy as far as how people are jumping on this bandwagon, but he's not really sold totally on it, because right now they're trying to figure out how can they commercialize this, where people can start paying, you know, high numbers of subscription dollars. You know, there are a lot of people that are on computers all day, every day, and this is how they make their money. And they're trying to figure out how can they use this AI and then say, okay, well, it's going to cost you $150, $200 a month, you know, and get the subscription. This is what they're trying to figure out. How can they commercialize? Because, you know, the streaming thing was the one thing that it was making a lot of money off of. You know, you look at Netflix. Netflix, man, is it went from $35 to almost $700. So that's what they're looking at. And then they're probably going to do a spinoff on those things and then maybe even put it in the NASDAQ down the road.
How can I explain this in layman's terms? Whoever or whatever company that does not get into AI, artificial intelligence, probably down the road in the next 15, 20 years, is either not going to exist or they're going to be so daggone small that somebody's going to buy them up. These other companies who are staying in AI and stuff, they're going to have some very, very, very smart people to understand that how they can have another product and stuff that uses AI that is going to be something that the population out there can use. And people are going to start using AI. I don't care what happens, people are going to use those applications in their software. They're going to figure out a way to use it in their software so people will buy it. They're already starting to do it. They're manipulating pictures. They're creating pictures and stuff and everything with AI. Someone is sitting there and he's creating a picture. Other people are creating videos or whatever, and they're slowly but surely doing it, and they're slowly but surely taking over those fields by the people who are using. So if you just happen to be the company and stuff that these other software folks and everything decides to use your large language model, to create what they need to be created, whether it's a picture or whether it's video or whether it's how you run your building or how you use AI and everything for your GPS, or you use AI and everything to create images and stuff on people's computer, or how you use AI to uh, navigate the information and the data and stuff that it takes to run this software that we're using to produce our podcast that goes on to YouTube.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I brought them up, because this morning the market's tanked for almost 4%. And they're claiming that DeepSeek was the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
People are using that to get their stocks.
Right. That's what I'm just telling you. I just told you it's cheaper to use them. So some people are going to use them because they're cheap, and then they will accept whatever information that comes from them, even though it hasn't been fine-tuned by another large language model that costs more money. Okay. I'm going to give it to you probably simply term I can think of. Deep fake would be what you would call a Model T Ford. And the other ones are those Maseratis or whatever. So you can still get to where you're going to get to in the Model T. You just going to take a little bit longer to get there. So some people going to say, I can't afford to buy that Maserati or that whatever, or some other $400,000 car. So I'm going to get into my Model T Ford. You can get there in 3 hours. It might take me 12 to get there in the Model T, but I'm going to still get there. And I don't have to pay as much money.
Now, here's another reason why I brought it up. And just for people to know, think about this. Nvidia, I guess how you pronounce it.
Right, Nvidia.
Lost 17%, 588 billion of their market value. They were up to 3.4 trillion.
Right.
So there it is right there, because they knocked off a lot of those people.
No, what all they did was adjust the valuation like they should have been adjusted.
This is money, bro. This is all about hustling and money. And these people, you got so many high-tech people that know how to manipulate this stuff and know what's going on. And they grabbing this stuff like crazy, because a lot of people put their money in Nvidia. I'm talking about working people that don't know what they're doing,
and
don't even know.
And they pushed that stock up too fast. And now all that 4% thing that you dropped on is making an adjustment back to where it's supposed had been in the first place. Because they got rid of all the all the slack, the slack they got out there. So they got slack, so they bring it down there, and then they get it a little bit firmer. So they about where it should be at now. So because they got rid of all the loose money. You get rid of all the loose money, and then the fat stays.
You say
all
loose
the meat.
money.
Yeah, you get rid of the fat, and then the meat stays.
You say loose money.
Yeah, you cut all the fat out.
That loose money is those people's money.
Right.
That lost the value.
Right. The ones who were sitting out there, that they bought some for $1,000, and I got $1,000. So the people who spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on the stock and everything, they're gonna stay. But the other ones, those are suckers. They're getting rid of the suckers.
Are you trying to tell me this is the new what is it? What is it? Dump and load or dump?
Right. they had dumped them off, man. They had dumped them off. They got rid of the suckers, man. All they did is adjust the suckers out of the market. Now,
Yeah.
you know, they got rid of all the shaft, and now the corn, the grain is sitting there. Now the good stuff is sitting there.
It's just a game, man.
Hey,
I'm gonna tell you know, Dick Gregory, he says that real well. It's a game.
it's a game. Yes, sir. It's a game. It's a game. Now, if those suckers were smart, they still stay there. But they ain't. They done got the hell out because they
Put
can't
that
handle
little
it. They
$10,000 in
can't
there.
handle it. They can't handle it. So they done left. You know, they done took their pennies, nickels, and dimes and left. And the boys that got the dollars and stuff, they stayed. Sometimes you need to stay in there with the pennies, nickels, and dimes and everything. You don't take as much.
It's amazing
Mm-hmm.
how they know how to rip these small time investors' money off.
Right.
And then you have these people that got their 401ks, you know, they might have just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yep. All the suckers and stuff who figured that they were going to get in there and get rich quick, they all
Yep.
gone now.
It's a game, bro.
It's a game. All right, Ted, final word. We way over our time.
How we gonna keep up with all this stuff that's going on, bro? I don't know.
We're going to have to. We ain't
I
got no
don't know.
choice. We don't have a choice.
That's all I gotta say, man. It's constantly chaos everywhere.
Okay, people. It was see you guys tomorrow and everything. We will keep on keeping you informed.